Okay, so I consider myself as a hardcore Android user. In the past, I have played around with, custom ROMs, Google camera mods. Now, apart from that, I've also searched the depths of the Android settings. I've done a lot of Android customization. And obviously, apart from that, I do, enjoy finding out all the new things I can do on my Android phone. I mean, it's kind of like giving a toy to a baby. But recently, I switched to an iPhone and my primary SIM has been on the iPhone 13 for about 2 weeks now. And this is what it's like switching to iOS after being an Android user for more than 8 years. Okay, so the first thing which I noticed is if you're switching from Android to iOS for the first time, you'll have to reinstall all your apps manually. And apart from that, you'll have to sign in to each app. So yeah, this is kind of a time-consuming process. But yeah, this is the first point. Well, next up, let's talk about the charging speed. So yeah, the iPhone actually charges really slowly, especially when you're coming from an Android, which charges at 65 watts. And can go potentially from 0 to 100 in just about 35 minutes. But point number 3 is the RAM management, and I have to say that the RAM management is literally awesome on the iPhone. So yeah, for example, when I played Subway Surfers and the next day I checked, the app was still there in the RAM, it didn't shut down. Now one thing which I found really annoying on the iPhone is you can't really take scrollable screenshots like you do on Android. Now I gotta be honest, this is a feature which I personally really miss because I found this really useful. But apart from that, talking about point number 5, then that is you cannot use apps in split screen mode. So yeah, this is actually something which I knew already, but yeah, I wish that the iPhone had split screen mode. Now let's talk about data transfer, and I have to tell you that it's an absolute nightmare transferring data from an iPhone to a Windows PC. Now one of the reasons of this is because we get a USB-C to a lightning cable inside the box. So yeah, wired data transfer from a Windows PC to an iPhone is not possible due to this reason. Now say that you go ahead and order USB-A to a lightning cable from Amazon or something, but even then you'll need to download iTunes, and yeah, even then the experience is not all that smooth. So yeah, that is something you need to keep in mind. But next up, let's talk about the haptics. Now I have to say that the haptics are really good. It feels premium, and yeah, the haptics are really strong. So even if I keep my phone on vibration mode, I haven't missed a single call or notification. It's really strong. So when it comes to haptics, I mean, it's really good and I have no complaints over here. But where I do have a complaint is there is no system-wide back gesture. So for example, if you're scrolling through Twitter and you want to go back, you'll have to tap on the cross on the top left corner of your screen. And yeah, this is basically the process for every application, which is kind of annoying. And yeah, I mean, I do value the Android gestures now even more. So yeah, on Android you just swipe on either side of your phone and it will go back. And yeah, in my honest opinion, this is just way more convenient on Android. But next up, we cannot pause a video on an iPhone. So yeah, this is a feature which was embedded by default in Android, but yeah, it will be dearly missed because it's not there on an iPhone, at least by default. Now speaking about the notch, surprisingly I didn't find it that distracting in my honest opinion. So yeah, whenever I watched content or just scroll through Instagram or Twitter, it was not that distracting as I expected it to be. Now on the other hand, this is pretty obvious, but I just want to mention that the normal video from the iPhone 13, I mean, it's just awesome. And last but not the least, why on earth is it so hard to change a goddamn wallpaper on an iPhone, man? So yeah, I mean, the process is pretty lengthy. So we have to go to settings, click on wallpaper, then click on add a new wallpaper. After that, we select one wallpaper and then click on add. I mean, why? I mean, it's 2022. Come on, man. It should be much more simpler to, switch up your wallpaper. But all the pros and cons aside, I will say this. I didn't, expect to adapt to an iPhone, especially this quickly. And yeah, personally, I'm going to say that I do not regret switching from an Android to iOS. But yeah, I have to mention that I am using my Android phone as a secondary device again. But yeah, I'm going to leave you guys with that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Peace out.